And welcome back to TV One's On Point. I'm Armstrong Williams. We are live to tape in the beautiful state of North Carolina at the home of Dr. Maya Angelou in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It is so good being on location. I mean, you, after 6 years, spoke again.
Yes.
What was the reaction? Who was there?
Oh,
what did you feel?
I went inside, and I said...
You went inside where?
Inside the store.
Inside the store.
Mm-hmm. My grandmother was just used to me not saying a word. I could talk to my brother, Bailey, my brother who was 2 years older than I, and my heart. And really, a part of my early affection for you was because of my brother, because my brother was about your size, your color, as handsome as you. And he loved me. He taught me everything. Anyway, I could speak to him, and every now and again I would. I knew I loved him so much that my voice wouldn't kill him. When he came here, I was doing an interview, and I said at least a couple of times a year I would speak to my brother. And my brother said, yes, but most of the time I didn't understand her. Bad boy. But I spoke to him, and I spoke to him in front of my grandmother, which was nothing. I mean, I just didn't do that. And my grandmother hugged me, and it took some time to come out and trust that my voice would not harm anybody, that it was really all right.
What was it like for you, a young girl, with all the scars that you had endured as a child? All of a sudden you wake up, I think I read this somewhere, you had sex for the first time.
First time.
For the first time, and the only time, and you got pregnant.
Yeah.
Here you are, about to be a single mother in 1945.
That's right.
What was that like?
It was terrifying. Save that love. Again, and I don't mean indulgence. There's a world of difference. Sometimes parents think that they're showing love to their children when they indulge them. That's not love. That's indulgence. That's another matter. If you love somebody, you want him healthy. You want her strong. You want her hale. You want her full, ready for life. My mother loved me, so she never put me down. I had to finish school, though, but I had my brother. So I told Bailey when I was about 2 months. He said, don't tell Mom or she'll take you out of school.
About the pregnancy?
He said, because, and it'll be almost impossible once you have the baby to finish high school. And at that time, it would have been. So he said, just don't tell her. And he was in the Merchant Marine. He said, we'll hold hands across the sea, which he did. We did. When I told her, she simply asked, do you love him? I said, no, and he doesn't love you. She said, there's no point in ruining 3 lives. We're going to have a wonderful baby.
You know, I find it interesting. You know, in our conversation, you've talked about your grandmother, but now you're introducing your mother.
Yes.
Was she always involved in your life?
No. She had, for all intents and purposes, abandoned us from the time I was 3 and Bailey was 5. We went back to her when I was 7, and her boyfriend, it was her boyfriend who raped me. So I went back to Arkansas to my grandmother, my father's mother, and went back to her when I was 13 plus. And she scared me. She was so worried. She knew so much, and she moved so fast, and she talked so quickly, and I didn't feel that she was really my mother, so I called her Lady, and that became her name until I was about 22. And then I called her Mother.
What made you call her Mother?
Well, because I began to realize some people, some parents, are excellent parents of small children. They dress them up in the cutie little things, in their little bow ties and their little bows and things, and they just love them to pieces. But when the child gets to be 13 or 14, they don't know what to do with him or her. They say, shut up, sit down, go over there, go to Europe somewhere. My mother was a terrible mother of small children.
Oh.
But she was first rate, super duper of a growing adult. She talked to me like I had some sense, and she liked me. And when I was about 20, she said to me, you know, baby, I think you're the greatest woman I've ever met. I was 20 years old. I had a son, almost 4. I've lived in 2 rental rooms and had 2 jobs. My mother had a 14-room house, owned a hotel. I wouldn't take a penny from her, not even a ride from her.
Did you know your father?
Yeah, I didn't like him much.
You don't want to talk about it? No. Okay, keep going.
I had an uncle who was all right. Uncle. But
well, just brief. Why didn't you like your father?
He was not a nice man.
He wasn't a nice man.
That's all.
He was okay, go ahead.
But my uncle was everything.
His brother?
Yes.
His brother?
Yes. His brother.
Your childhood is fascinating. Do you feel your childhood, there's such a debate today about 2 parents household and family values. Do you think your life would have been any richer had you grown up with a mother and a father? Mm-hmm. Do you think you missed anything?
Not a thing. The best thing that happened to me was they sent me to my grandmother. Mm-hmm. Mama in Arkansas, my father's mother, taught me the values I have today. But let me finish telling you about Vivian Baxter, my mom.
Your mom.
She said, you know, you're very kind and you're exceedingly intelligent. And those 2 virtues rarely go together. She said, you are one of the greatest women, I was 20, I've ever met. And she said, Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt, and my mother. She said, yes, you belong in that category.
Wow. She had that kind of insight.
My lands. I thought, she went across the street, she went into her car. I went down the street and waited for the number 22 streetcar. And I got on the streetcar. Armstrong Williams, it is as fresh to me today, 50 years later, as it was then. I remember getting on the streetcar, the wooden slats on the back of the streetcar, the light, the sunlight that came in through the windows. And I sat there, I thought, suppose she's right. Ooh. Suppose I really am somebody. She's very intelligent, and she says she's too mean to lie. So suppose I'm going to be so. I thought maybe I better stop cursing and stop drinking. I mean, I didn't curse much and I didn't drink much, but I thought maybe I'm going to turn into somebody.
You found something good in yourself. Hold that for a minute. Hold that. This is good. This is TV1's On Point. Our guest today, she is in rare form. I mean, the rarest of form. Dr. Maya Angelou. We're in our home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.